Anything out there now? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, no, normal deal. No other cast or missing teeth or anything. Oh, shoot, yeah, I'm fine. I've had to scratch my eye worse than that. I was trying to freaking chest bump him. He got so excited, he ducked his head on me. It's all right, though, I liked it. I just looked at Flea and said, Flea, I still got my teeth. And he said, you do? I said, all right, I'm good.
It didn't look good.
No, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad. I played football for a long time. Saw a couple stars, but it was a big play. You know, most powerful weapon in the world is the human soul on fire. So I love those guys when they make plays, especially a rookie like that. Really anybody, but it was a huge play, 4th and 1. You know, and you can't hide emotions. You know, I love the game and I love when guys make plays. So he made a hell of a play. It was pretty awesome to see. And dang, it's giving me goosebumps right now just thinking about it. So
how did you think you guys fared without Z out there?
you know, I mean, obviously Z's a big time player. You know, and you know, he's one of the best in the league. He's one of the top 5, you know, outside linebackers in the league. So when he's not out there, you know, it's like saying, you know, Aaron Rodgers broke a shoelace. You know, how would that be? But you know, with that being said, I still got damn good players. You know, our biggest thing is we've got to be better in the run game, everybody. And you know, I mean, it's not a secret. I mean, you know, it's funny when you look at the first half to the second half. What's the difference? Well, look at my call sheet. Look at the call sheet. You look at the last 20 plays. It's a lot of green. It's positive, right? We got to make them one-dimensional. When they're one-dimensional, we're pretty damn good rushing the quarterback. You know, and so you know the play actions, the boots, the screens. That's what we're seeing. You know, I mean, that's why offenses do it. You know, you got Max Pro, which you guys know is 7-man protection. You got 4 rushers. That ain't no excuse. You still got to affect the quarterback. Somebody might get a one-on-one. You got to do it. Boot screens, right? These NFL the guys ain't dumb. You know, they know what we got up front, and so we got to do a better job of stopping the run and doing a better job of getting them one-dimensional. When we do that, we can get after the quarterback. And so, but yeah, going back with Z, that's, you know, when he's ready to roll, and when Flea says and Goody said he's ready to roll, we'll roll. Right now, I got what I got, and still got dang good players. But we just got to get better at as a unit all together. You know, it's never one position. You know, everybody thinks when you can't stop the run, it's the front 7. It's the back end too. You can't stop the pass. Everybody blames the back end, right? It's the front. You're allowing the quarterback on those play actions. I mean, he's back there holding the ball forever. You know, we got to do a better job of clearing our hips and getting up the field. And I ain't gonna cuss this time, but you know, we got to, you know, beat how many guys are on you. It is what it is. You know, so you know, that's never use excuses and complain. And tell my guys this morning, you know, it sucks. It does, right? But get used to it. It's been like that for a long time. And so quarterbacks get rid of it quick. Yeah, well, this quarterback's going to get rid of it even quicker this week. Right? Everybody talks about the NFC Championship game. Oh, you can infect Tom Brady. Well, yeah, Tom Brady gets rid of the ball freaking faster than you can believe. Drew Brees, yeah, all those guys. It is what it is. Affect the quarterback. Do your job, because you know what's going to happen? There's going to be about 5, 6 plays, 7 plays a game where you're going to get that opportunity, right? And you've got to take advantage of that opportunity to get that one-on-one. And so we just got to stay on course and do our thing. That's what we do.
All right. What's the good from Rashan these first 2 weeks, and what do you think could use a little improvement?
Sure. You know, I think, you know, one thing that always stands out with Rashan is his effort. You know, that him you know, he's just all over the place. He's violent. He's physical. You know, just like last week when one-dimensional, you can see what he can do. You know, people struggle to block him. You know, and the things that he needs to work on and continue to work on, and that's going to be every phase, you know, of the game. But his drops and the run game and pass rush, you know, getting his spot right. But again, I like where Rashan's at. I think he's in a good spot. You know, I think he's, like I said last time we talked, he's you know, there's not much new things I can tell him. Right, you know, we'll get, you know, we're playing San Francisco. There's certain backfield sets and certain runs they do. We talk about, you know, how we're going to attack the tackle. This is our rush plan this week, but you know, it's not starting over. You know, it's not like having, you know, Hamilton back in, you know, a new guy in the room, and here we go. You know, and I'm excited to have him, but it's that's where he's at. You know, and he's still a 3rd-year guy. He's getting a lot more reps and he's seeing more. Obviously, those guys, the more you get, the better you're going to get at it and see it and feel it. You know, but I'm happy where he's at. And just continue to roll with him.
Hey, Mike, Garvin's still only 22. I think sometimes I lose sight of that. For him to be able to be
He's
able
what? I'm sorry, I can't-
he's only like 22 years old, still
Yeah, he's a
pretty
baby.
young dude. For him to be able to get that pressure, I know it wasn't a sack, but that play that ended up resulting in Campbell's INT. How big are those moments for a young guy?
They're big. You know, the same thing we talked with Sean, but with Jonathan as well. You know, when you make the play like that, you kind of realize. You know, I remember Ray Lewis telling me a long time ago when I was a rookie. You know, obviously I was 51, he was 52, so my life was right next to us. But he maybe in the second or third day I was there. And he said, Mike, most of the guys that don't make it in this league, they think the game's bigger than what it is, and that's so true. You know, you let doubt and all that stuff creep in, and you're done. When you realize it's a game, and you've got the talent, you're here for a reason, then things start slowing down. You know, and have confidence and believe in yourself. And so I think when you're exactly right. When you have plays like that, you know, you're like, oh wow, I can do this, right? You know, coach is right. I can do it. You know, and so that's just a big confidence builder, and you just keep going from that. You know.
And Mike, I'm glad you brought that up in your response to last there, because you were what, a 7th round pick?
Yes, sir.
So you can relate to Garvin and
Sure.
Rashan. So we always ask you about the Smiths and Rashan, who you stood on the table for and everything else. But how does your experience affect how you coach those guys that are a little lower on the depth chart?
Yeah. You know, I mean, one, I try to coach them all the same. You know, I tell them that. But, you know, when you got guys like Z and P that's in their 7th year, you know, I'm going to still coach them the same, but they deserve a little more respect. When you get in that second contract, you deserve a little respect. But going back to with Garvin them, you know, the big thing I tell them, if I've been in your shoes, I've been there. Even, I mean, you can even say a 7th round's a free agent, right? You know, biggest thing I tell them is they you know, we talked this last time, is special teams. You got to affect that in special teams. That's got to be a big role for you. Yeah, Jonathan and Chauncey, you see it, they're going to play, you know, 15, 20 snaps. They're going to give your guys some breathers. But that's where you got to roll. And then it doesn't matter where you get drafted. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter where you go to college. It doesn't. And so, you know, with those young guys and especially those guys, I talk about that quite a bit, especially early on, you know, because those are usually the ones where you're fighting to make the team, like I was every year. You're always at that end of that roster, and you're trying to find and make that team. And those are the ones that you always got to, you know, really everybody in the room is. I'm really a positive guy when it comes to just speaking good things. You know, I mean, I still get after their butt, but you know, I think there's a lot of times where if you just stay on a guy and you're always negative on him, and you're always, you know, doing the bad things, saying the bad things, picking out the bad things. You got to also do the good things. But, you know, those guys, yeah, like you said, I've been in their shoes. I know what it's like. You know, I know what it's like. It's always fighting for your job. And really, when you think about it, everybody should be really thinking like that, fighting for your job. 'Cause you never know when it's that time it's over.
Mike, do you have any first impressions of Ladarius at all, Hamilton, and just
Not yet. You know, he's really, you know, similar, you know, to Chauncey, you know, kind of size-wise. He might be a little bit thicker. You know, he's got a good demeanor about him too. You know, he's a tough guy. He's a little bit undersized. He's got that built-in leverage, so he's got a lot of strength to him. You know, it's part of what I like about him because you know how we guys are. We establish power in the game. You know, we're going to break your damn will, and everything after that, our moves and everything we do after that comes off of how we set the edge or not set the edge, but you know, our power rush, bull rush, long arm. You know, a lot of guys tackles these days give us their chest. Thank you. Okay, and eventually we're going to get you a set, and we're going to do our stuff off of that. You know, so he has that strength and that built-in leverage, kind of a little bit like Tamba, that type deal. You know, but. That's where I think he's going to fit in. Now, you know, I just got, you know, work with him and teach him how we set up things, right? Everything's built off of that power, right? And that all starts with putting the fear of God in them, you know? And I think that's one thing that gets overlooked, you know? I actually mentioned that today. Find me a pass rusher. Trust me, I've looked at everybody in at least the last 20 years. I think that's how far our system goes back. Everybody. There's no finesse rusher out there. All of them had a great bull, every one of them. And that's how we build our stuff. I just think guys, you know, they get tired of it, or you know, maybe tackles think that we won't do it all game and they'll keep doing it. No, we'll keep doing it. And so that's what I like about the kid. You know, you got to know who you are and how you get, you know, what affects the quarterback and stuff like that. And so, good kid, smart. You know, I'm excited to work with him. I like new guys in the room. You know, even though I got to start over. You know, you see it and you think, oh, you guys think, oh, coach, it's easy, right? Got a couple plays, put them in. It's a lot goes to it now. You know, it's a lot of work, but work that I'll put in if you're willing to get better. You know, and he is. So as far as that, I mean, I've only had known for a week. I really know anybody for a week, but so far he's been good.
Like, if you're rushing 4 guys and they're keeping 6 in, you know, aside from beating a double team or one guy winning his one-on-one, what do you expect? I mean, what do you expect from those guys in that situation? I mean, that's
No, it is, and it's tough. I mean, it's and also too. I mean, you know, Joe does a great job. He's mixing in. I mean, you got to mix in pressures, stuff like that. You know, which he did. But again, you know, if they are max proing, like you said, it's gonna be 6 or 7. Most of the time, it's 7. And you bring 5, they still got enough, right? And you want to just call play 0 every snap, right? And so I think that's where a lot of people, you know, when you watch film and a coach, it's different from the outside world and really you guys, you know, and that's no knock, but you know, it's the call, what's being called, what's the formation. There's a lot of things that go into it, you know. I mean, somebody asked me the other day about, you know, the run game. They always think that we are the edge of the defense, right? The outside linebackers. Nothing can get out of us. Well, that ain't true. What's the coverage, right? And then with that being said, what's our technique? We could be looking like we're outside, but we're actually on the tight end. We're actually a C-gap defender. We're making it look like it earlier. We might take the C-gap right now. We might be the edge of the defense. We might be in coverage, and we might be a flat defender. We are forcing everything. There's no way you know exactly what we're doing. And that's where the same thing with the calls and the defense. There's so much that goes into a game. You can't figure out what we're doing, and a lot of people make opinion outside of what we're doing. Now, is there times we just lose the damn edge? Yep, you're right. But, you know, there's just mistakes like that and everything in life. But there's still way more that goes into football than just something simple as holding the edge. You know, there's a cover 2 and there's corners that squatted. He's the force defender, right? We want to be heavier up on the C-gap. Maybe sit near gun. We're going to get in a 6 technique, right? I'm just giving you a handful of examples. That's why sometimes I always tell these guys, don't always look into what social media is saying, and not you guys, but just people out in the world, because they don't know the big picture of it. They can't look at it. That's always my thing with PFF. I'm like, same day, you're giving a run grade on that. You don't know what we're playing, right? Or affecting the quarterback. All that stuff I don't want to get into PFF because I'll be up here for 2 days. And I do like what they do, PFF, sorry. I do. I look at y'all stuff a lot, but just using that as an example. But yeah, you're right. I mean, there's just different ways you got to attack it. I mean, if it was easy, offenses wouldn't do it. That's why they do it, right? You know, and then you got to look at opponents and who's, you know, the Lions playing. Do they have rushers like us, right? So you got to see our personnel, right, and how they see us as well, right? And so, you know, I'm not an offensive guy, but I know if I was an offensive coordinator, I'd fear the front we're going against, and I wouldn't want to just line up in 4 wides and don't chip the outside linebackers or thump them with tight ends and let them go. It does. This is the NFL. It doesn't work like that. I wish it did. Every once in a while it does. They shock me every once in a while. We'll play somebody and they let them get free rein all the time. But, sorry, rambling again. I'm tired.
We don't mind.
Yep.
I posted that.